Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session, we have discussed about quantum numbers. There will be four quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. These four quantum numbers speaks about distribution of electrons in an atom. So as you considered, there will be three fundamental particles, that is electron, proton, and neutrons. Among these, proton and neutron both are present in the nucleus of an atom. And regarding electrons, electrons were get distributed around the nucleus. So as we said, simply say said protons and neutrons both constitutes the nucleus of an atom. But what about electrons? Electrons were get distributed around the nucleus in an atom. Now in this session, I'm going to deal with the distribution of electrons in an atom. That is, it basically deals with the electronic configuration. Well, I'm in this now I am going to deal with the electronic configuration of atoms and ions. That is electronic configuration of atoms and ions with particular examples. Well, before going for this configuration, we should be aware about the meaning of this electronic configuration. Okay, meaning of this electronic configuration. Yes, what is it is that electronic configuration is nothing but it is the distribution of electrons into available orbitals of an atom is called electronic configuration. What is the simple definition? It is the distribution of electrons. So what I am highlighting here, it is the distribution of electrons into available orbitals. So in an atom, yes, it may contain large number of orbitals. Okay, there will be large number of shells. There will be all shells are made up of subshells. Further, those subshells consist of orbitals. Now, how electrons are distributed means, yes, these distribution of electrons into available orbitals. If the orbital is empty, then only electron will be occupy those orbitals, so that electrons will get distributed. So we say simply what it is: the distribution of electrons into available orbitals of an atom is called electronic configuration. So whenever if you ask definition for electron configuration, what you have to say? The distribution of electrons into available orbitals of an atom is called electronic configuration. Well, so when you think of distribution of electrons into available orbitals, yes, there will be large number of orbitals present in an atom, or else I can say hypothetically we can consider n number of orbitals. So here few examples are specified. So one first shell, second shell, third shell, fourth shell, fifth shell, sixth shell, and seventh shell. Okay. So first shell has one subshell, that is 1s, has one orbital. Second shell has two subshells, 2s and 2p. Third has three subshells, 3s, 3p, 3d. As like when you think of possible orbitals, yes, there will be large number of orbitals present in an atom. Hypothetically, we can consider large number of orbitals. Now the question is, when electron enters into orbital, okay, when electrons enters into orbital, say if electron enters into orbital, where it will go? Whether it goes to 1s or it goes to 2s or whether it go to 4p, 6d, it means the entering electron has different possibilities. It has various options. Whether it chooses options as its own, no. When electron enters in an atom, okay, the distribution of that electron is going to governed by the distribution of electrons are governed by certain set of rules. Well, basically, the first rule is about above principle. Okay. So when you think of distribution of electrons, remember the electrons are distributed, or I can say distribution of electrons is governed by certain set of rules or certain set of principles. One among them is this above principle. Okay. Well, what did above principle says? So, according to this principle, in the ground state of the atom, state means it is having lowest energy level, lowest energy state. Okay, the one it is associated with the low energy. So, it is mentioned as a ground state. So, in the ground state of an atom, the orbitals are filled. Okay, the orbitals are filled in order of their increasing energies. Okay, how these orbitals are filled? These orbitals are filled in the increasing order of their energies. What is to be remembered here? According to above principle, electrons enters into various orbitals. How they are entering? In the increasing order of their energies. Okay, so what is the basis for this? It is based on N plus L rule. So above principle says electrons enters into various orbitals in the increasing order of their energies. That means above principle we are going to specify a rule. According to that rule, what it says? Electrons enters into various orbitals in the increasing order of their energies. Well, now the question is how to decide orbital one having less energy, the other having high energy. I mean, how to decide the relative energy of these different orbitals. If one could able to find out the relative energy of different orbitals, then only they can come to know the orbital having low energy and the orbital having high energy. So that we get a sequence of orbitals that is either increasing or decreasing order, so that by knowing that relative energies, one could able to write the electronic configuration. Now, what is the question with us? How to get the relative energy of these various orbitals available? That relative energy of various orbitals is given by N plus L rule. Got it? So, relative energy of all these different orbitals, various orbitals is given by or governed by N plus L rule. Well, what is this N plus L rule? So, according to this N plus L rule, okay, there will be two rules. So, according to N plus L rule, what is the sequence we are getting here? Say 1s, when electron enters into an atom. Okay, when electron enters into an atom, where it will go? First, it check the 1s orbital. Okay, 1s. If 1s is filled, where it will go? That electron enters into 2s. If 2s is also filled, then electron goes to p. As like this sequence is followed: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s. Then after 3s, electron come to 3p, 4s. Then after 4s, electron goes to 3d, 4p, 5s. Then 4d, 5p, 6s. Then goes to 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s. Then goes to 5f, 6d, 7p. As like it continues. We can write as like 8th shell, 9th shell, as well as we can write. But at present, whatever the known elements, 119 elements, are covered within these orbitals. So we are not writing the next part. So here, now what I said, the relative energy of all these orbitals is given by which rule? N plus L rule. Well, we check it. What it is? What is the N plus L rule? So N plus L rule speaks about relative energy of various orbitals. So what is to be remembered here? N plus L rule gives the relative energy of different orbitals. I hope in the previous session we noticed these two symbols N and L. So N is used to assign the symbolic representation of principal quantum number, and L is used to represent the azimuthal quantum number. Okay, so N we have possible values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to N, and L has values 0 to N minus 1, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even we said symbolic representations also. So I just recall, N indicates the principal quantum number value and L indicates the azimuthal quantum number value. So we know that L ranges from 0 to n minus 1. That is, if L is equal to 0, S sub shell, or I can say if S sub shell, its L value will be 0. Say L is equal to 1 means P sub shell, or I can say for P sub shell, L value is 1. As like D sub shell, L is equal to 2, F sub shell, L is equal to 3. And N indicates the principal quantum number, or I can say energy level or energy shell to which electron belongs. Well, according to that N plus L rule, there will be two rules. Rule number one. So what the rule number one says? Energy order of various orbitals following N plus L rule. Okay. What we are specifying here? Energy order of various orbitals following N plus L rule. So according to N plus L rule, I am going to represent the sequence of various orbitals, that is increasing order of their relative energies. So here, whatever the things are written, 1s is having less energy than 2s, 2s is having less energy than 2p, then 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, so on. So well, how we got this? How we got this sequence means according to, or I can say based on rule number 1. So what that rule number 1 says? So according to rule number 1, if any two orbitals, okay, if any two orbitals having lower n plus L value, so what I'm talking about, if any two orbitals, you can select, say I will select 2p and 4p. Say 2p, what is the n value here? N is equal to 2, and what is p? That is L value. For p, L is equal to 1. So what is the total n plus L means? We got 3 as n plus L value here. So for p, what is the n value? N is equal to 4 itself. For p, L is equal to 1. Now what is the n plus L value? 5 we got here. Now when I compare, according to rule number 1, I am comparing n plus L value, n plus L value of two orbitals. Okay. Say for 2p, what is n plus L value? 3. For 4p, what is n plus L value? 5. Then according to rule, what it says, if any two orbitals having lower n plus L value, okay, if any two orbitals having lower n plus L value has less energy, therefore it is filled first. So generally what it says, if any two orbitals having lower n plus value, or simply I can say the orbital having lower n plus L value has less energy and is filled first. And orbitals having higher n plus L value has more energy and it is filled next. So what the rule number 1? So according to rule number 1 says, orbitals having lower n plus L value, okay, it is filled first, followed by orbitals having higher n plus L values. So here, now you select any two orbitals and solve, we get a correct sequence. Say for example, one more, say 3s. Okay, 3s and 3p. So for 3s, n value is 3. Okay, for s, L value is 0. If you add both, what is the answer? N plus L value is 3. Similarly, if you go for 3p, n value is 3 plus, for p, what is the L value? L is equal to 1. So now what is the answer here? Total answer is 4. Say for 3s, n plus L value is 3, but 3p, n plus L value is 4. Means if I compare relative energy of 3s and 3p, okay, if we compare the relative energy of 3s and 3p, which is having less energy, 3s is having less energy compared to 3p. Okay, you got it? So as like you simplify by selecting any two orbitals. So what is the rule number 1 says? The orbital having lower n plus L value has less energy, therefore it is filled first. Okay. Say in 3s and 3p, 3s has lower n plus value, therefore it is filled first. 3p has higher n plus L value, therefore it is filled next to 3s. Okay, let me clear this. Well, you got the rule number 1. What it says? Orbitals having lower n plus L value has less energy, therefore it is a filled burst. Okay, well, coming to examples. So for example, lithium. Okay, lithium element, what is the atomic number? 3 is the atomic number and mass number is 6. Well, we need atomic number. Now for lithium, say electronic, if I think of orbitals, that is available orbitals 1s, 2s and 2p, these orbitals are available. Now when you look at the 2s and 2p, say in these two, 2s and 2p, when you look at the n plus L value, as like I had done, say 2s means n is equal to 2. For s, what is the L value? 0. So for 2s, what is the n plus L value? 2. Similarly, if you go for 2p, for 2p orbitals, so 2 n is equal to 2 plus p. For p, L value is 1. So n plus L value is 3. Now if we compare, say look at the values here. For 2s, n plus L value is 2. For 2p, n plus L value is 3. Means what I can say, 2s orbital has lower n plus L value compared to 2p. So according to rule, what it says, orbital having lower n plus L value has less energy, therefore it is filled first. Okay, well, then when you look at the electronic configuration, how we get that? Say, as I said, energy order 2s is less than 2p. Now, if you consider the electronic configuration of lithium, 1s2, 2s1. So, in the second shell, there will be two possible orbitals, 2s and 2p. Among these, 2s is filled first, followed by 2p. Since lithium has only 3 electrons, so 2 electron enters into 2s and remaining 1 electron goes to 2s. So, overall electron configuration for lithium will be 1s2, 2s1. Well, go for one more example. Say aluminum electronic configurations. Now here, when you look at the aluminum, what is the atomic number? Atomic number is 13. Okay, so available orbitals 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. So in the first shell there is only one orbital, 1s. Then if you go for second shell, there will be two orbitals, 2s and 2p orbitals are available. In third, 3s and 3p orbitals are available. Now here also we have to compare the relative energies. So we already mentioned about 2s and 2p, right? 2s, 1s is having less energy than 2s, 2s is having less energy than 2p. So electron enters in this sequence, 1s, 2s, 2p. Now if we compare 3s and 3p orbitals, 3s and 3p orbitals, well, 3s, what is the n value? N is equal to 3, s is equal to 0. So 3 plus 0, answer is 3. So 3s, what is the n plus L value? 3. Then for 3p, n is 3, p, L is equal to 1. So n plus L value is 4. Now if we compare 3s and 3p orbital, which is having less energy, obviously 3s is having less energy than 3p. So that we got the sequence here. 1s is having less energy, then 2s is having less energy than 2p, 2p is having less energy than 3s, 3s is having less energy than 3p. Means how electron enters in this sequence, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s and 3p. Well, if I consider electronic configuration of aluminum, say 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1. Okay, so electron enters in the sequence. So 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 6 10, 10 plus 2 12 plus 1 13. So whatever the 13 electrons present in aluminum, all are get distributed. Okay, I hope it is clear for you. So above principle says electron enters into various orbitals in the increasing order of their energies. Okay, then further, when you think of the relative energy of various orbitals, the relative energy of various orbitals are given by n plus L rule. Then according to rule number 1, what it says, orbital having lower n plus L value has less energy and it is filled first. Well, we'll go for second rule. Okay, say there is a case we have a possibility of getting same n plus l value for different orbitals. Say what that rule number 2 says: if n plus n value are equal, if any two orbitals have same n plus l value, what it means? If any two orbitals have same n plus l value, so what it says, if n plus l values are equal, then electrons will enter into orbital which is having lowest n value. Means what the second rule says, if any two orbitals have same n plus l value, then electron enters into which orbital? Electron enters into a orbital having lower n plus l, sorry, lower n value. Well, it will be understood by considering the example. Say for example, sodium. Sodium atomic number 11. So available orbitals are 1s, 2s, 2p and 3s. Now here, if I compare 2p and 3s, okay, 2p and 3s, say n plus l value, say n 2 p 1. So what is the n plus l value? 3 here. For 2p orbital, n plus l value is 3. Similarly, if I consider 3s orbitals, so 3, n is 3, s, l value is 0. So 3 plus 0 again 3. Now, what is the thing we got? Set 2p and 3s different orbitals. What is the thing we are observing? Both orbitals have same n plus l value. Okay, different orbitals 2p and 3s, but they have same n plus l value. So according to the second rule, what it says, rule number 2, what it says, if any two orbitals have same n plus l value, then where electron enters first, which is having less energy? The orbital with the lower n value. Here n is 2, here n is 3. Okay, so according to rule, if any two orbitals have same n plus, or you can say equal n plus l value, then orbitals having lower n value has less energy, therefore it is filled up first. It means electron first enters into 2p orbital. After filling 2p, electron goes to 3s orbital. Okay, got it? Well, here n plus l values for 2p and 3s is same, that is 3 itself. So rule number 1 is not applicable here. So we have to go for rule number 2. So according to rule number 2, say n values we have to consider. N values for 2p is 2, for 3s is 3. When what the rule says, if any two orbitals have same n plus l value, then orbital having lower n value has less energy, therefore it is filled first. So 2p is filled first, followed by 3s. If I consider electronic configuration, okay, what I can say, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1 means first electron filled in 2p orbitals. After filling 2p, remaining electron goes to 3s orbital. Okay, you got it? So how electrons are distributed means one rule we consider. What is that? Above principle. And along with the above principle, even we consider the n plus l rule. Okay, well, coming to the second one, Hund's rule. Well, what the rule says? Hund's rule states that electron pairing takes place. Electron pairing takes place only after all the available degenerate orbitals are occupied by one electron each. So Hund's rule, it's also called Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay. So what the rule says? Electron pairing means we know that each orbital can accommodate an electron of 2 electrons. Okay, an orbital can accommodate, has a capacity of accommodating a maximum of 2 electrons. 2 electron means there must be a pairing of electron takes place. Pairing of electron in the sense one electron must have clockwise spin, another should have a anti-clockwise spin. Means an orbital has a capacity to accommodate two electrons. Whether both the electron enter at a time? No. So according to Hund's rule, what it says? Electrons enter singly. Electrons enters into all degenerate orbitals singly. Once all orbitals are filled by single electron, then pairing takes place. Okay. So what the rule says? Electron pairing takes place only after all the available degenerate orbitals are occupied by one electron each. Okay. Well, it's Hund's rule. Simply to remember, to recall, even we can say empty bus seat rule. Well, what it is? Empty bus seat rule. Imagine, say there is an empty bus standing. Okay, so when you enter the bus, where you prefer to enter? Suppose we prefer the window seats. Once all window seats are occupied, the rest of the people started occupying the adjacent seats, right? As like when electron enters into an orbitals, first all degenerate orbitals are occupied singly. After occupying, then pairing takes place. Okay, so it is simply named as a empty bus seat. For example, say oxygen, atomic number 8, available orbitals 1s, 2s and 2p. So when you think of entry of electrons, say 1s, there will be one orbital, two electrons can be accommodated, say 1s2. 2s, 2s also has an one orbital, two electron can be accommodated, so 1s2, 2s2. 2p4 means the remaining 4 electron enters into p orbital, so 2p4. So for p there will be 3 orbitals. For p subshell there will be 3 orbitals, 2f, 2p, 2py and 2pz. These are the 3 orbitals, x, y and z. 2px, 2py and 2pz. Now these are the degenerate orbitals. What is the meaning of degenerate orbitals? Degenerate orbital meaning these orbitals are going to have equal energy, same energy, so called degenerate. Okay, remember meaning of degenerate orbital? Orbitals having same energy are called degenerate. So here 2p means there will be 3 orbitals, 2px, 2py and 2pz. All these 3 orbitals are having same energy. So when same energy orbitals available, that is degenerate orbitals available, according to rule says electrons enter singly. Means 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Electrons enter singly, then pairing takes place. Once all orbitals are occupied with single electron, then fourth electron again goes to 2px. So then pairing takes place. But what is the distribution they said here? So p2p, x2, 2py2, 2pz 0. There is no electron in z orbital. It is wrong. According to rule, it is wrong way of distribution of electrons. Say now, according to rule, if I consider the distribution of electrons, say 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. But in 2p4 again, how electrons are distributed? In pxrl, 2 electrons, that is electrons occupied singly first, one electron in each orbital. After filling all these degenerate orbital, fourth electron enters into px. So overall configuration 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. But here 2px2, 2py2, 2pz0. So it is a wrong way of representing, but it is the right way of representing the configuration. So it is in accordance with which rule? Hund's rule. Just recall what the Hund's rule says. Electron pairing takes place only after all the available degenerate orbitals are occupied by one electron each. Okay, well. With this, I'm going to conclude about today's session. Again, in the next session, I'm going to continue the remaining.